Hi guys, let's go ahead and run a one sample t-test or single sample t-test using SPSS. So here is the data set that I've put together. I'm just going to switch over to variable view so I can show you how I've set up my data. If you want to pause this video and go ahead and try it out and put it into your SPSS, please go ahead and do so. So my first variable is going to be ID, which will be each participant's ID number. I've just given them a number 1 through 5. This is going to be an ordinal measure. The second variable that I have is the actual number of sessions that each person or each participant attended. This data, we gathered it from our text and our previous problems as seen in our slides. So I'm just going to run off of them for this specific purpose of SPSS. So numeric, no decimals, I haven't really added any missing numbers, etc. And I've made this into a scale measure. Okay, so now that you have your SPSS data set right in the way that you want it using the variable view, you're going to switch over to data view so that you can enter your data. So now if you want to take a pause here as well and then enter the data that I've added in, please feel free to do so. So again, I just have ID numbers 1 through 5 listed here, and then the number of sessions that each person has attended. So now what we want to do is we want to compare this specific sample to a population of number of sessions of counseling sessions attended from the population mean. So to do this, we're going to go into Analyze, Compare Means, One Sample t-test. Once you click that, you should see all of this here. Sorry, I just put it back here because I forgot to reset it earlier. But once you see it, you should see this window pulled up here. You want to make sure that you bring your dependent variable or your each number of counseling sessions over to the test variables. So again, you'll open it up and this is the first thing that will pop up. Remember to bring over your dependent variable over into your test variables box. In your test value box over here, it should be standard for 0. Make sure that you have 4.6 here because that is the population mean that we're going to be using for this specific example. So again, when you do this, it should be 0. Just make sure that you switch it over to 4.6, which is the test value or the population mean that we're going to compare this sample to. Once this box looks the way you want it to, you can just hit OK, and your output box will pop up. So this will be your t-test output. What we can see in the first one is simply what was our sample size, what was the mean of our sample size, what was our standard deviation, and what was the standard error of this specific sample. The second box you'll see is in regards to your one sample t-test. So you'll see your t-test value, your degrees of freedom, your significance value. You'll see confidence intervals and mean differences as well. Now, your significance values, remember, to be statistically significant, P, or your significance value should be equal to 0.05. If it's greater than 0.05, we can't really declare statistical significance, right? So this is really on the cusp of statistical significance. As you can see, if you were to round this up, it would equal 0.05. With the decimal, it's 0.045. So really, this is on the statistical cusp of not being significant. But here's all the additional details that you do get from your one sample t-test. And then finally, your third box actually gives you some additional information as well, such as your Cohen's d, which is your effect sizes, and kind of helps you understand how large or small your effect sizes are in this specific test. Okay, so this is how you run a single sample t-test and compare your sample numbers and your sample data sets to a particular population mean.